Their first solution wasn't African chattel slavery. It was drawing from their own backyard, the poor, the desperate, and the prisoners of Great Britain. White servitude and convict labor. In the 17th century, over half of all European immigrants who came to the American colonies arrived as indentured servants. These weren't free settlers. These were mostly poor English, Irish, and Scottish people who couldn't afford passage across the Atlantic. To get here, they signed a contract, an indenture, selling their bodies and labor for a period of usually 4 to 7 years. But it wasn't just volunteers. Tens of thousands of British prisoners, political rebels, and homeless individuals were forcibly rounded up, dumped on ships, and sold to colonial plantation owners as convict servants. During their contract, they were property. They could be bought, sold, whipped, and beaten. If they ran away, their time was extended. Life was so brutal in the swampy tobacco fields of Virginia that nearly half of them died before ever reaching their day of freedom. But there was one massive, legal distinction. Their bondage had an expiration date. If they survived, they were legally freed and given freedom dues, often a small plot of land and some clothes to start their lives. The Africans 1619 and the transition point. In August of 1619, a privateer ship named the White Lion arrived at Point Comfort, Virginia. It carried 20-odd Angolans who had been captured from a Portuguese slave ship. At this exact moment in history, the legal system of racial slavery did not yet exist in the English colonies. These first Africans were initially treated similarly to white indentured servants. Some completed their terms, bought land, and even owned property. Black and white laborers worked side by side in the fields, lived together, and frequently ran away together. And that shared misery created a massive nightmare for the wealthy elite colonial rulers. American slavery didn't happen by accident. It was a system carefully constructed through law, driven by economic greed, designed specifically to replace a temporary servant system with a permanent, racialized underclass. Understanding how it was built is the only way to truly understand the country we live in today.